Who's that boy? The guests at the Billionaire's Gala whispered, pointing at the young man standing quietly by the corner. His name was Ethan, and while everyone else was dressed in designer suits and sparkling gowns, he wore a plain shirt, clearly borrowed and a size too big. He didn't belong, at least not in their eyes. His mother, Maria, was the housemaid of the Caldwell estate. For years, she scrubbed marble floors, polished silver, and dusted the enormous chandelier above the ballroom where the elite gathered tonight. Ethan had grown up in the servants' quarters, watching wealth but never touching it. Still, there was something about him. His sharp jawline, piercing eyes, and confident silence drew attention. The resemblance was uncanny. He looked like a younger version of the host himself, Richard Caldwell, the billionaire tycoon. As the night went on, Richard's wife, Veronica, noticed the stares and grew uneasy. "Why does that boy look exactly like your husband?" someone whispered behind her. That was the night everything began to unravel. The next morning, whispers spread among the staff. Some said Richard had an affair with Maria years ago. Others claimed Ethan was nothing but a lucky look-alike. But Maria knew the truth and had spent 20 years hiding it. She remembered the night Richard returned from a business trip, broken and drunk, long before he was married to Veronica. He had been kind to her when no one else was. That kindness turned into a single night that changed Maria's life forever. She never told him, never dared. But now Ethan was grown, and he carried the same commanding aura as his father. One afternoon, Richard caught Ethan fixing a broken fountain in the garden. The boy's hands were skilled, his mind sharp. Richard couldn't help but ask, "Who taught you that?" "My mother," Ethan replied simply. Something inside Richard stirred, a familiarity. But before he could ask more, Veronica interrupted, pulling him away. Her eyes, however, lingered on Ethan with suspicion. It all came crashing down when Veronica confronted Maria in the servants' kitchen. "Tell me the truth," she hissed. "That boy, he's Richard's, isn't he?" Maria froze, her hands trembling as she held a tray of crystal glasses. "Mrs. Caldwell, please. I've never asked for anything. Just let Ethan live in peace." But Veronica wasn't satisfied. She stormed to Richard's office, demanding answers. Richard, blindsided, denied it at first. "Ridiculous," he said, slamming his hand on the desk. But the seed of doubt had been planted. That evening, Richard summoned Maria privately. "Is he mine?" His voice was softer this time, almost pleading. Maria's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, but I never wanted your money or your name. I only wanted him safe." The truth shattered Richard's world. He had a son he never knew, and that son had grown up under his roof, invisible to him all these years. When the truth leaked, the mansion erupted in chaos. Veronica was furious, feeling humiliated. "You made a fool out of me," she screamed at Richard. She threatened divorce, the destruction of his empire, and even tried to have Maria and Ethan thrown out. But Richard refused. For the first time in his life, the billionaire didn't care about reputation or wealth. He cared about Ethan. The board of Caldwell Industries soon got wind of the scandal. Investors feared a messy inheritance war. Veronica spread rumors, painting Ethan as a gold digger. Yet, Ethan stayed quiet, showing no interest in riches. He only wanted his mother respected. One evening, at a dinner with shareholders, Ethan was cornered. A powerful executive sneered. "You think you can walk in here and claim half of everything? You're just the maid's son." Ethan looked him straight in the eye and replied, "Maybe, but being the maid's son taught me something you'll never learn. How to work with my hands, not just my bank account." His words silenced the room. Richard called a press conference. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and the world watched. Standing beside him was Ethan, tall and composed, with Maria watching tearfully in the front row. Richard spoke with a trembling voice. "For years, I thought I had only one family. But I was wrong. This young man is my son. I failed him once by not knowing. I will not fail him again." The announcement shook society. Some called it scandal. Others called it justice. But to Ethan, it was simply truth. He didn't care about the fortune, the mansions, or the empire. All he wanted was acknowledgement, that he was more than just the maid's son. Maria, once invisible in the grand halls of wealth, finally stood tall, her son recognized not just by the world, but by the father who had once unknowingly abandoned him. And as the cameras flashed, Ethan whispered to his mother, "We don't need their approval. We've already won. The maid's son was no longer just a servant's child. He was the billionaire's heir.